Welcome to the AMA Waterways Golf Concierge Program, the world's only luxury golf concierge program on the European rivers. I'm joined today with Chris Stalabras, cruise manager on the AMA Magna. And
hello, everyone. Hello,
and myself,
Nicholas.
I'm the owner of LGT Golf. We are the golf concierge company that operate this exclusively for AMA Waterways. So thank you again for joining us. Let's just quickly step into who is LGT Golf and what do we actually do. This golf concierge program was designed by a golfer for golfers in order for your clients to be able to play some of the best golf courses in Europe, European PGA Tour golf courses. Now, LGT Golf itself is a member of the PGA Business Management Group, and we've been operating this program since 2017. In 2019 and 2020, we've won World Golf Awards for this very program, and yeah, we continue to hopefully do exactly that, what your clients love, a fantastic golf holiday. Now, we transport everyone in Mercedes B-Class vans. And these are specifically chosen with the client in mind for comfort, safety, and yeah, just pure enjoyment. Bottled water in the car, leather seats, air conditioning. It's a wonderful way to transfer that seamless luxury from the AMA Magna into our vehicles. So as we go talk about the AMA Magna, I will let Chris actually describe some of these lovely features.
Hello, everyone. And yes, the AMA Magna, a beautiful ship to be cruising on, built in 2019. And truly, the AMA Magna is a luxury on the river. Here you have the lounge area that you can sit and enjoy at the end of the day, have drinks with friends that you've made on board. Going from the upper lounge, we also have a lower lounge area, which is our libraries, nice and spacious and light and bright, a good little place to sit and talk with your golf partners that day about that hole-in-one that you nearly had, I'd say, the one you almost got, and the fact that you birdied on a par and all of that fun stuff. And then, of course, the luxury doesn't stop there. Your staterooms, this is a typical stateroom on the AMA Magna, quite large, spacious again, comfortable, a place to sit and relax before dinner or before heading out to the golf links. And then luxury abounds everywhere. What could be better than after a day of golf, being able to take a nice dip in the pool, sit in the whirlpool, relax. And this, I love this aerial shot. It gives you a great view of the spaciousness of the deck. And our deck is really a large area. When you see what's available, if you go to the next slide, Nicholas, they'll get an idea of just how spacious it is. Lots of room, places for everyone to sit, whether it be at a table, nicely shaded, on the lovely lounge areas that we have. And the best thing about being up there is there's a bar, and look at that bar team making some of the best cocktails and drinks and wine and beer. And they are always that happy because they like nothing more than making a drink for you. So it'll give you a nice feeling when you're up there enjoying yourself, especially seeing the sights as we cruise along. But it's not just all about having fun. There's also some me time, as I like to call it. And we have a wonderful health and wellness area, a gym with an onboard trainer as well that gives free, lessons for people who want to do fitness on the bikes. And of course, we have spa and manicure on the AMA Magna. So that's always very nice also. And that's really the ship in a nutshell. But the heart of every ship after the bar has got to be food. And we have 4 restaurants on the AMA Magna, starting off with the main restaurant here, where you can always enjoy a lovely meal. Again, you see the spaciousness there. space for everyone. Nice big booths, only 4 people in a booth. Fantastic if you want to sit with your golfing pals. But going from the main restaurant, of course, I said we have 4 in total. One of the other restaurants we have, a favorite with the guests, is the Alfresco restaurant at the front of the ship. Beautiful views out. Sometimes the windows are down and there's a nice breeze coming in, and more Mediterranean eating. And then our family style restaurant, if you will, Jimmy's Restaurant, just a wine bar, nice area to sit. And that wine bar goes on all evening. So if you don't want to go back up to the lounge because you're down there and enjoying drinks, don't worry, the bar staff is there to look after you. And of course, food is something that AMA Waterways is truly known for. And this is probably the highlight for most guests, is our chef table restaurant. You can see the cooking area there where the chef prepares gourmet meals. You will not be hungry when you're on the ship. And we are, as I said, known for our award-winning cuisine. We've won many, many awards, and we are very proud to be one of the few ships on the river, and one of the first ships on the river to have the Chaîne de Rôtisseurs designation as well. And there's nothing more unique than being part of that whole process, especially when you join the chef table restaurant. So then we'll go on to the Magna on the Danube, and the itinerary we're looking at would be starting today in Budapest, finishing on the river in Vilshofen, and continuing on to Prague. And this is known as our romantic Danube cruise, but you can also do it in the other direction, which is the melodies of the Danube. So we're in Budapest. Nicholas, that's where you and I meet up, or my colleagues meet up.
Yes.
So there's a beautiful photo of the Magna herself. But Budapest, embarkation day, that's when your guests come and join the cruise manager on the ship. We're docked right near the Budapest Parliament. And if your guests are golfing, I always recommend they come in a day or two early. That way, if there's baggage delays, their bag arrives, no problem. And they're there and they're ready. They get on board the ship. We get them into their stateroom. And then, Nicholas, you arrive.
That's correct. Yeah. We come on board to take first of all, we take the golf bags and secure them in our vehicles. And this is another thing that's something that's unique on this program. Essentially, your guests will travel hands-free with the golf bag. We take care of the golf bags throughout the entire journey. So the van and the golf concierge is theirs for the entire journey. This is not one van in one city and then another van in another city. This is a complete package. So once we've given taken the golf bags in our vehicles, we also meet and greet the guests, answer any questions they may have, and bring them also their welcome packet, which is a uniquely designed shoe bag with some golf balls, lots of other little goodies that just tick the right boxes for every golf geek out there. The first day that we go play golf is in Budapest. It's the Pannonia Golf and Country Club, and it's the host of the Hungarian Open. Used to be on the Ladies European Tour back a number of years ago. But now is the host of the Hungarian Open and also the home venue for the Hungarian national golf teams, both the juniors and the seniors, men, boys and girls. So the unique thing about this golf course is two things. One of them is the building itself. It's former imperial riding stables that have been converted into this luxury golf club, restaurant, and pro shop. And the second is, of course, the golf course itself. It's a beautifully designed golf course by Hans Erhardt. He's the same person who designed several golf courses in Austria that have also hosted European Tour events. And he says it's still one of his favorites. For me, it's a lovely story. There's 2 loops of 9, and each half starts with a very gentle start, but it gets progressively more and more difficult. And literally every hole tells you a story and lets you know that you're really going to be working for your to shoot your par. Then when we're done, we go back to the Magna. You'll enjoy some lovely dinner or a dip in the pool. And while you're enjoying that, your golf concierge is driving on ahead to the next city.
And and that's what makes this program really special. When you're thinking of the Golf Concierge program and what does it bring value to and what's involved and the things that are part of the cruise. It could be that you're, 4 friends traveling together, 4 of you play golf and 1 doesn't. Well, that's the good news. The non-golfer can enjoy the cruise as a regular cruise. So in Budapest, would have done one of our many tours, maybe a city tour. We cruise overnight. You leave Hungary, you arrive in Slovakia, you're in Bratislava, and that morning, in fact, everyone, golfers, non-golfers, can actually enjoy one of the numerous tours that we have in Bratislava, standard city tours, some of the other tours that we offer as well. And then there's your golf concierge again, ready to take you away on another golfing experience. And that really is the special part about this. Your clients have nothing to think about at all because it's taken care of. They just know they come back from their tour, they pick up their little golf shoe bag, and there's your golf concierge, ready to take you to which course?
Well, now we go to a really special course. It's in the European Top 100, according to Golf Digest. And it's the host of the Slovakian Open. It's designed by Jack Nicklaus. And you can already see from the image, this is something really special. It's manicured. The first time I ever went there years ago, when I stood on the first tee box, I thought somebody had taken a pair of hand scissors and just trimmed the edges perfectly for me. And that's the attention to detail on this course. It's a tough course, typical of Jack Nicklaus, very generous fairways. As you get closer to the green, things start, the more trouble appears. And this image is a perfect illustration of being able to place your shots on the green where they need to go, because it's a very undulating green. If you miss the wrong area, you'll be working for that par or for the birdie. But again, it's a lovely golf course, and it's about a 50-minute drive north of Bratislava. After we play golf, we sit in the restaurant. We'll have we'll have a meal there. And it's a wonderful gourmet restaurant called Kogo's. And once we finish the meal there, because the ship will be sailing while we're playing golf, the ship will be sailing towards Vienna. And then we'll drive another 45 minutes from the golf course and arrive in Vienna, usually either right at the same time as the ship or just a little bit before the ship.
And that's always special too, because to see your vessel arriving at the pier and you're waiting for her as she comes in is really special. And again, think of it. You started in Hungary, you went to Slovakia, now you're in Austria. If you're a North American, these kind of distances, traveling from country to country, even sometimes state to state, takes longer than it takes us to do this. And so you're in Vienna, you've got that night in Vienna, and then the next day we have an entire day where the ship is docked in Vienna, and there's no golfing that day because you're in Vienna. So that means you can go and enjoy the tours, visit the beautiful museums, just enjoy the city center, go shopping, relax, eat your Sachertorte, have a typical Austrian coffee as well, maybe have some of their sekt, a little bit of their sparkling wine, go and see Gustav Klimt's The Kiss, because that's always a highlight for guests to go and see, or take a bicycle and ride around Vienna. It's very, very friendly. It's just a nice off day, because I don't know if we've even said it. How many golf courses do they do in this 7-day cruise?
Well, on the
Is
7-day cruise, they do 4 golf courses, and on the
and
total
then
journey, it's 5. And if they're really, really
yeah,
hardcore golfers and don't want to miss a day of golfing, we could even probably squeeze in another one for them if they were like.
but think about it. I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, I like to golf. I golf once maybe a year. Imagine doing 5 golf courses in 12 days. That's crazy. So
Yeah,
this is
and
why
it's
we've built in rest days. It's
absolutely
important.
no,
You know, you
absolutely
need
the
time to reflect on how to improve your stance.
no, and also
I suppose the
it's tough. It's tough work. You're absolutely right, Chris. It's tough work as well because as any golfer knows, there's a lot of focus required when you're playing golf, and it does get tiring. So and that's why we built these days off with that in mind, so that you're able to enjoy the 3 capital cities of the former Austria-Hungarian Empire. So you have Budapest, you have Vienna, and at the end of the journey, you'll have Prague. Those are the 3 old capitals, the imperial capitals. The next day, Chris, you take it
You're
away.
right. We cruise on from Vienna and we head into the UNESCO World Heritage area of the Wachau Valley. And you've got Krems where the ship is docked. And we take you to various places throughout this part of the world. Very, very nice. Lots of lovely wines and apricots and bike tours that can be done, and old castle ruins to see, and just beautiful landscape scenery. Or what else could you do?
Well,
You could.
you could play the Diamond Country Club, which is the host of the European Tour venue of the Austrian Open. Actually, they just 2 weeks ago, as we're filming this, just completed their European Tour event here. John Catlin won, and it's a lovely golf course. It's got a very unique feature. The water that you see in the image is actually table quality drinking water and has to remain as such by law. And so this whole golf course you're just constantly surrounded by this beautiful crystal clear blue water, and you're just thinking, well, maybe I'll just have to fill up my water bottle while I'm out here. It's so inviting, and the golf course itself is absolutely.
Every time
Sorry,
I see this photo, Nicholas, the first thing that comes to my mind is the only place I might be safe with a ball is in the farmers' fields in the distance.
Well, it is a golf course that requires some course management and accurate play, but it's not as difficult as it looks. If you're reasonably straight with your shots, you're going to be able to shoot a low score. And yes, there are some places to get into trouble. I'm looking down at in the bottom right hand corner of the image. I'm looking at my nemesis hole where I always manage to shoot bogey. To this day, I don't know why, but there are some really good holes to score well on. And the winning score here on the European Tour is usually about a -18. So you know what your target is. Having said that,
I wanted to ask you about that, Nicholas.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I think is important that people realize. Your golf concierge is with you the whole way. And you just gave some tips on that golf course.
Yes.
Your golf concierge is also a knowledgeable golfer, correct?
That's correct, yes. I mean, the golf concierge, let's take it from this point of view. You might have a client and you book him onto this cruise and you're not sure if there's going to be other golfers on this cruise. It does not matter, because if your client is the only golfer on board this vessel, he will still have a playing partner throughout the entire journey. That playing partner is also his golf concierge. So they'll be playing with them, they'll be driving them around, they'll be giving them tips, all of those things. So it's not just that we pick these golf courses and have never been there, we actually know them like the back of our hands. And one of the things is that because we have sometimes a European tour event, which is a valid point because these are all European tour venues, what do we do if, the client is on the ship and then suddenly there's a European tour event? Well, this is an example of one of our alternate courses. It's also on the European tour, and it is ranked 85th in Europe. It's Ramsau. Instead of being about 20 minutes from Krems to get to the golf course, it's about 45 minutes to get to the golf course. It's in the Austrian Alps. Normally in the winter, this is all white, blanketed with snow. But you can see the beauty of this golf course. It's an absolute fantastic golf course. One of my favorite personally, because it's a true challenge, and actually has 19 holes. So the Adamstal could also feature instead of the Diamond if we have the European Tour going on. If you have a group of people,
excellent.
The golf concierge is still there. So he may go out there with you and guide your group around. It really depends on how the clients want to spend the holiday.
Now, when they're at the course,
yeah,
are they walking the course, Nicholas? Are there golf carts? Are they, what is different about golfing in Europe than golfing in North America?
Well, the most poignant aspect of golfing in Europe that most American golfers are shocked to see is that they'll be one of the few that are riding in carts. For this golf program, everybody gets a shared cart, but you can choose to walk because all of the golf courses in Europe are designed and built for walking. So you don't have these sprawling estates mixed in between holes and so on. Your average distance from green to tee box is about 15 yards. So that's something if you've never played golf in Europe, that's something that you will find definitely that's completely different to golfing in the States. And as I said, the second thing, even in that mountain course that we just showed you, you'll see people aged 50, 60 years old pushing their electric trolley, walking 500-600 meters uphill, 500-600 meters downhill, and playing the golf course and loving every minute of it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's great because, we've left that beautiful area in the center part, if you will, of your cruise, the Wachau Valley. We've cruised still in Austria, and now we're in Linz. And this is another day off of golfing because in Linz, we offer guests a bunch of options. They can discover Linz. They can go to Salzburg in Austria, or they can go to Český Krumlov in the Czech Republic. So you have different options that day. Again, another day to relax and enjoy and take in this beautiful European architecture that's available to you. So that if you're on the Golf Concierge program, you're seeing the wonderful countryside and the greenery that's available around these golf courses, mixed in with cityscapes. And I think that gives you a wonderful balance and something that you wouldn't have an opportunity to do anywhere else, I'd say.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful eclectic mixture of this beautiful Baroque architecture, these 17th, 18th century city centers that you get to explore and look at. And I believe, Chris, this is the day you guys go off on 2 very special trips.
Yes, yeah, Český Krumlov or Salzburg to enjoy if you'd like. You can either sing along to the sound of music in Salzburg, or in Český Krumlov, my absolute favorite has just got to be that beautiful castle that's there, but also the food. I have a thing for Czech cuisine. I'm not normally a meat and potatoes kind of person, but the Czechs do meat and potatoes so well. So, there's always something to be had there. And then
Absolutely.
When we're done our day in Linz, the ship cruises on again, and we cruise to our next port of call, and we end up in Passau, the city of 3 rivers, as it's known, because you've got the Danube, which we're cruising. It's got the Inna and the Ilz River all converging at one point, and that's sort of what you can almost see here, the point of the city. You've got the Inna on the left, the Danube on the right, and the Ilz is coming down just on the right side of the castle that's there. You can enjoy Passau. You can take part in the mini tours that we have. We have hikes, we have bikes, we have walking. But really, in the Golf Concierge program, this is about going to the golf courses. And where do you take them on this day, Nicholas?
Well, it's the Bad Griesbach. So there's a challenge for you to pronounce it. It's the Quellness Golf Resort, and it was the host of the Porsche European Open for several years. And it is the largest golf complex in Europe. They have in total 5 18-hole championship golf courses and another 5 9-hole golf courses. Of those 5 championship golf courses, 3 of them were designed by Bernhard Langer, and we are on the Beckenbauer course, or the Porsche course, which is the amalgamation of the tours, the European Tour when they play the Porsche European Open here. Typical of Bernhard Langer, he loves making sure that you play every single club in your bag. It's a relatively flat course, but it does require a lot of skill, shot shaping, but it's good fun. What we see here is the 9th hole, the green around the 9th, and it's over water, bunkers, out of bounds, everything that your heart would desire for a very challenging finish. And when we finish,
and if I'm not mistaken, Nicholas, this is one of the few golf courses that a non-member can go and play at, because I believe I called you once. I had a guest who wasn't on the Golf Concierge program, but wanted to go golfing that day after seeing all the golfers go off and was really jealous.
Yeah,
and I said to you, can they go and golf? And you said, you can't just do that here, but this is one golf course that you can do that.
Absolutely.
And I find that very unique.
It was, I mean, this is what that one of those few examples where you can do that. Also, our relationship with all the golf courses allows us to be very flexible. So if we have to add somebody last minute or something like that, it's sometimes possible. It's not advisable because it could be very busy that day. So these, as we said, these are the top golf courses, and so there are times when they do get busy, especially on the weekends. But it is in this case, it was he was quite happy actually, able to join us there, and had a good round. I think it was him and his son, in fact, if I remember correctly, that joined us. And and that brings me up with a really good point. People will ask always, should we, can we rent clubs? Yes and no. I would not advise you to try and rent clubs. First of all, the cost of renting clubs is the same as you would pay for taking your clubs on the flight with you in any case. You're going to be looking at about 200 to 250 euros. The second thing is that every golf course has different types of clubs. So you won't get one set that would last throughout the journey. The last thing is, even if you did have a set of rental clubs that was the same, it still would not be actually fit to your golfing abilities. Now, this is more for the agents to understand that a golfer has their golf clubs fitted specifically for their game. Not taking them would just detract from the pleasure, the experience, and the fun factor of playing these golf courses. So that's why I would always suggest that they take them. 95% of all major airlines have the same kind of rates for the golf clubs. And if they're flying business class or first class, they have an extra bag per person in their rates. So, and golf clubs are allowed to be checked in as a second bag that has been checked and verified by all the airlines. So that's what I would definitely recommend. Bring them. You're going hands-free in any case. We're taking care of the clubs. We clean your clubs after every round. And they're in the van with us, secured and locked, insured. You don't have to worry about it. Like Chris said, There's only one thing you have to do when you come on this trip. Enjoy.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny you mentioned the cleaning of the clubs. I think I remember someone saying once, "My, did you change my clubs? I've never seen my clubs this clean since the day I bought them."
Yeah, I mean, that is, funnily enough, it is actually something that we get to hear quite often. And it's a service that is, for us, something small, but it's something that makes the whole experience just that much nicer for them. And your clients appreciate it. And this, again, this is another image of the actual, of that hole, the finishing hole, the 18th. At the Porsche European Open. And if you look through the grandstand, behind you see the roof of a building. And that building is where we'll have a nice beer and a Brezen or Bavarian sausages before we head back to the ship, which has in the meantime sailed on to Vilshofen, only about 20 kilometers up the river from Passau. But she'll be docked
just up the river from Passau. And you know, what's really nice about that is, you know, guests come back and they've all won a Porsche because they got a hole-in-one at that hole, right? Is that how it works?
Not quite, but
is that right? If they get a hole-in-one, the golf concierge buys them a Porsche on that course? Is that... I'll leave you to work out the details.
No, but if they do have a hole-in-one and it's verified, then we will supply them with a little prize. That is absolutely sure.
But not the Porsche. Okay, well,
not
you know.
The Porsche, no, not the Porsche.
You can't blame me for trying. So yeah, our ship finishes in the lovely town of Vilshofen, and what you see here is Regensburg. So we finish in Vilshofen, and what's really nice is in Vilshofen, at the end of the cruise, or if it's the start, if you're going the other way, we have a fantastic beer festival. It's a good way to really feel Bavarian. And then we go on to the Czech Republic. And on our transfer from Vilshofen to Prague, we do a stop in the beautiful town of Regensburg and have a tour there before arriving in the Czech Republic. And again, it's just, you know, country, 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 country. You're knocking off all these things off your bucket list, adding it to your trip count around the world. And then you're in the heart. We stay in the city center, the heart of Prague. And there's the Charles Bridge. And it's just a magical city. Prague is always, guests are so enamored with this city. And we stay at some lovely hotels in Prague, right in the city center. Your cruise manager is with you from the ship they've sailed on, and so is your golf concierge. Because while we offer a city tour in Prague and you get to take part in that and enjoy that first day, your second day in Prague, your free day, you go golfing.
Absolutely. And
where do you take them from there? Well, there's the hotels that we stay at.
Yeah.
And where do you take them for golfing?
Well, we'll pick them up here in the lobby. And as we'll go then out to the Albatross Golf Resort, which is the host of the Czech Masters, and a European PGA Tour venue. And as you can see from the image, the moment you arrive, this is the first tee, it's a par 5. And the moment you arrive here, you know that you're in for a special treat. It's got to be one of my favorite golf courses in Europe, alongside with Adamstal. Absolutely beautifully manicured. Ben, the head greenkeeper, is formerly of St. Andrews. So he's actually been a greenkeeper on the old course, the home of golf. So all of that knowledge and experience he puts into the staff here at the Albatross Golf Course. And yeah, it's a fun course to play. It's the staff are delightful. You're just really going to have a really enjoyable day golf. It's on the edge of a vast nature reserve, so it's really quiet, and yet you're only 15 minutes outside of the city. And as we finish this a day's golf here, we'll take you back to Prague. after you've had this, amazing golfing trip. And you're just going to have then a little bit more time to wander around. You can go across the Charles Bridge. This is a bridge that was built in the 1400s. And it's just so much to do. There's the lovely beer, the lovely food that Chris loves so much. But it's not just Chris who loves it. My grandmother comes from that part of the world. And it's stuff that I grew up with. It's just absolutely delightful. There's shopping, there's relaxing. And before you know it, the next day, you go and take a transfer up to the airport and fly home. And you've had a wonderful golf river cruise throughout one of the most majestic rivers in Europe, on one of the best ships in Europe, as far as I'm personally concerned. And yes, so I know for my part, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Nicholas, I just want to say before we say farewell to anyone, one of the things you mentioned earlier, and I asked about the golf course. Can you go play at that one? And often people think I can do it myself. I can figure this out. But one of the things I've learned about golfing here in Europe is you can't just rock up to a golf course and ask to play.
No, not really.
So you've clearly arranged something special, because I know where I live here in the Netherlands, if I want to golf, I have to show a card showing that what my skills are like and how I could play. Now, if a friend of mine is a good member and good standing, they can occasionally get me in. But really, it's not, and I don't know how it is in some North American cities, but I know in Canada, when I've gone to play, my dad plays at that course, we just go and it's all good. So I really like that relationship you've built with the golf courses to allow people to come and to enjoy. I know that last golf course in Prague, a friend of mine lives there, and he's played it once, and he said it was the most amazing thing. And he only got to play it because he was with a golf pro who was giving lessons there, and said, "Come, I'll walk you through the course." And he said it was a dream come true to play that course. So, I mean, there really are some very good courses that you're playing that people
Absolutely.
couldn't arrange this on their own.
No, it's very difficult to do that. And not only that, it's also all the driving, the logistics of getting you back to the ship in time for dinner. If you've got a client and she plays golf and he doesn't, then, the unique thing about this program is then she goes off and plays golf, comes back, and in the afternoon, the two meet up again. They share their experiences of what they've been done during the day, sitting on the pool, having a cocktail, enjoying their meal, but they're always back in time for that. Just all of that logistics goes behind all of this, this package. Then there's, of course, the relationships that we have with golf courses who allow us to bring clients even if they don't have their handicap certificate with them. The course that we were talking about where the guest played, before 10:30, which is usually when we play, it's actually only allowed for players with low handicaps. They kind of put a time limit, and then from 10:30 onwards, players with higher handicaps can go. But because of our relationship, we're allowed to go in there and play at that time, even if the guest has a higher handicap. And so all of this planning and relationship management and so on, all of that is part of this package that we try to do our best to deliver, so that effectively the golfer, your clients, just have a wonderful time and don't have to worry about booking taxis.
It is a great experience.
Yeah, especially you were saying about doing it yourself. Imagine trying to book a taxi in Senica in northern Slovakia to take you across the border into Vienna to Austria. It's not happening.
No, it's such a wonderful thing. And I know just from having had many guests that have taken part in the program, they all say it was so worth it. They would never have been able to arrange something like this themselves, and to be so relaxed and so easygoing. You know, they have luxury every step of the way. From, you know, the time they land in, from the moment they land in Europe until the moment we send them back, they're all looked after. And it
Yeah.
really does make it for a wonderful program, and something from my end I see is, you know, people who are golfers who really want that ultimate golf experience. This is a no-brainer. It's so easy to do.
I
So
appreciate
and
I
then
appreciate that, because I was just thinking as you're talking, our goal, our objective on every single trip from April till October, till the end of September, effectively, is to produce the smiles that you see on this image on every client's face. That's what we are about. That's all we do. We just want to make your holiday or your client's holiday the best that possibly is. And I couldn't do it
and
without the
now
fantastic staff of AMA Waterways,
no,
Chris and the other cruise
it's
managers.
a team effort with the cruise managers and the golf concierge and the captains and the restaurant team and the hotel side of things on board the ship. Now, the other thing is, an agent's booking it. They have a bunch of questions. They just contact AMA Waterways and we'll get the answers for them.
Absolutely.
And as well, guests get given all the details of their program, their golf concierge program. So they'll know which courses they're going to. They'll have information about what they need to bring, what they, you know, need to be mindful of, that kind of thing, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also a lovely golf concierge website on within the AMA Waterways website. So they just and go onto the main AMA Waterways website, and under River Cruises, they'll see the golf program as one of the options to click. And there you find a lot of the things that we've been talking about, a lot of the details and the information. And if you're still unsure, contact your AMA Waterways BDM, and they will get that info. They will, if they don't know the answer, they will get in touch with me, and then I'll give them the answer. And yeah, we're here to make sure that this happens for you, to give you a new product or a new aspect of an existing product that you may not have thought about before.
Well, excellent, Nicholas. It's been an absolute delight to do this with you. Thanks for asking me to join you on it.
Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. It feels like we actually should be back on a river cruise, which we will be soon.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. Every time we talk about this program, and I know my colleagues have said the same, the other cruise managers, we're all thinking about taking up golf because, you know, that looks kind of fun.
It is. No, Chris, thank you very much for joining.